it was Jelly Smollett. Now it's her. What's next? What's
Well,
next? Then you're involving the children.
Yeah.
Know how we feel. We got to protect the children. We got to protect the elderly. We have
I
people
agree.
in the community like Angela Stanton that's saying, hey, if don't nobody else care about the black babies or the white babies or any baby of that race or that matter, they can come here. She's then opened up one facility, now opening up a second facility. Y'all jump on the bandwagon, do what's right. If it was you, what would you want done? I'll yield the floor.
it's funny that you mentioned the Willie Lynch letter because I've read that letter plenty of times. And one thing that I've taken out of it is when it said, if the program is, and I'm paraphrasing, if the program is implemented correctly, it will last hundreds, if not thousands of years. And what I took from that is we're under heavy social engineering. We have been under this for the longest. And for the most part, I don't think the average person understands what social engineering is. It's a programming. It's a self-destructive program that has been given to us, right? And we have taken it and now we have spread it out to the point now to where it's we in self-destructive mode. Like we're like suicide bomb. The culture, what we even call a culture, just look at how we embrace hip hop as a culture, right? Hip hop, we're talking about something that yes was started by a group of black people, but yet it's controlled by the Jews. But yet we embrace something that's not even controlled by the very same people that started it. So a lot of people don't understand this. The programming, and we don't trust one another because once again, we're taught to go for self. See, our grandparents and the people before us, they didn't have anybody but themselves to rely on. So they understood that we all we had. So they was more of a community. See, now we don't have that mindset. See, as long as we can go get a education or we can move to the suburbs or this and that, we good with that. And that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? It's way bigger than this Carlee girl. Like the lady said, people need to wake up. But it's to the point now to where, you know, it's over with. I hate to say it, but the way it is now,
We're too far
it's
gone.
over. It's too
We
far
do. We
gone. I
gotta
mean,
have we gotta have accountability, and we also gotta get active in our communities, and we gotta be responsible. And we can't just sit by on the sideline and just be quiet anymore. Allow things like this to continue to happen because it's to get along, to go along. I don't. All of this stuff is weird. The story with the submarine, like the lady said, and now this, and it seems like
hmm
it's a lot of distractions happening at the same time. We hearing word that they're trying to indict and arrest President Trump yet once
right.
again. You know, the story with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and the cocaine being found in the White House. That's been swept up under the rug. Like we don't need to forget about that,
Right.
especially with this 94 crime bill. Like it's a lot of stuff right now is just weird. But I want to say thank you to everybody that has donated to Auntie Angie's house tonight, y'all. I'm looking at the cash out. We're at $178. We got at least 500 people in here. Can we get to $500 for Auntie Angie's house? Can you go to Cash App? Can you help us? I'm going to show y'all because I don't want y'all to think I'm lying. Hold on.
But it's just like, Angie, what if you said, why should I care about the babies? I don't care about the babies. They ain't my babies. I done raised my babies. My baby's grown. Why should I care about babies? But we can we just can't have that mentality. If everybody had that mentality, it don't affect me, it ain't mine, or why should I care? It should only be in her community. If we have that mentality, that's the problem. There ends the problem.
I totally agree with you, sister. I totally agree.
I do too.
You have an old spirit. See, you
Mhm.
carry an old spirit. The average woman don't carry a spirit. That's the problem.
Right.
See, like I say, we so individualized where we only care about what we got going on
Right.
until it affects us directly. Now we looking around to see who can
Right.
help us. See, that's the problem. See, the problem is we think we are really free, right? When I mean free, like I say, we can go get education, go travel, whatever we need, feel that we need to do. And as long as we can do that, we're fine until it affects us directly. But see, people are not looking at what's going on. Like Ms. Angela brought up the Trump situation, all these things. Man, it's a lot of stuff. Between now and 2025, people need to be very alert because something is going to something big is coming. You can see the signs written on the walls. They're doing all kind of distraction to keep us focused off of what's going on. The economy tanking, banks collapsing, all of these things. Car dealerships, they can't sell car. It's a lot of things. Food. Let's not even speak on the food. You know what I mean? They're keeping us heavily distracted because they know what's happening. We're talking about it since the past 3 years. Walmart CEOs, all these people pulling their money out, stepping down. CEO, these people, they're moving, playing chess while we sitting around discussing BS and still BSing. But I just yield. I just tell people they need to really, really get in tune and be prepared and stop falling for all the distractions. I yield the floor.
And another thing I want to add is, brothers and sisters, when we see our brothers and sisters fighting, let's put those camera phones down and break that up. Let's break it up. Let's put the camera phone down and stop trying to get a laugh and show the world that black people, only thing we know how to do is fight. I'll yield the floor.
Hmm.
I agree with that, but nowadays it's like you do
We have to
that.
be
I
realistic.
remember grown. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I remember back in the days. That's what the older people in the neighborhood, they come and break up the fight. But now you got to worry about, you try to break up a fight if you gonna get killed. So it's it's a lot. It's not that we don't want to do things and do the right things in our communities. It's just the way these these young adults are set up now. It's like they don't listen to the elders no more. A
Mhm.
lot of them. And that's where we at now, and it is becoming scary. To the point where, even going back to the Carlee thing, you sat there, you made this whole like movie up, like really a movie. Like, why do you have that much time even on your hand to even do something like this? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. I yield.
Well, I would just say
Anyone?
this: mental health is real. If you have not donated already, let's get some donations in. We have new arrivals coming. There's a new location opening up in September. That's Auntie Angie's house. Any way that you can, share this live with any and everybody on your social medias. If you can donate, donate. If you can send clothes, a prayer, you can find the address on the website. Thank you, Dwayne, for the 50 piece. I'll yield the floor.
Well, I'll just add something else to the equation too in the conversation. You're right, young man. I'm older, and I understand that. We are living in different times. It's different generations and things of that nature. But if we really take a look at the degeneracy that's going on with a lot of our younger generation and where we are culturally, and all the things that we allowed to break a lot of our morals and our values and our scruples from the way we probably was raised by our parents or our grandparents.
Mhm.
Uh, those values are pretty much out the window. It's and a lot of them in the younger generation are very disrespectful.
Right.
Like she said, they don't want to listen, and a lot of people are afraid to jump in and jump and break up fights because they can lose their life, unfortunately. And then the cell phone and camera and video recording has been a good resource for us, because all the times we were saying police was beating us, nobody was believing us. But
Right.
now we got video footage that's saying, yeah, that we've been telling you for decades that they've been beating us. They've been killing us. They've been doing this and that to us, right? So it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. We just have to be wise enough to know when it's applicable for us to use it. I've always been one that have encouraged our Black women, especially, to learn how to get trained, how to use a firearm, how to carry and conceal, get
There you
disciplined,
go.
take your
Right.
family to the range. I live in Arizona. I'm there all the time at the range. And like I
That's what I
said,
like to hear.
I rarely see Black families there when they are. We if you're talking about a revolution or some type of war to kick off, we ain't ready as a people. We
Say
not
Yeah,
that.
Black folks,
I agree
because
with
Right.
you.
I agree.
Mhm.
we ain't ready because we too busy inbred fighting each other, and that is the problem. You know that like that has to cease. Everybody ain't gonna be able to go if they swing the boat and everybody swinging one way and it's the right way. The bottom line for our people to move up and to get somewhere as a culture and as a community, we gotta stop acquiescing and sitting and allowing a lot of the degeneracy to go on within the younger generation, because a lot of them, they come from your family members, your friends, and we don't like to talk about it and speak because we know who the bad degenerates are in our family. We all know them, we all got them, right? But
Right.
again, when we don't talk and when we don't speak up and when we don't fight for what's right, this is the end result of what happened when it comes to television, music, reality TV, social media, everything that has caused demise, taking different things out of the schools, and look what's happening in the schools. You're not safe anywhere. I don't care if you go to school, to church, to the grocery store. You're not to shopping mall. You're not safe anywhere. And we are always the last one that ain't never ready. How about Black folks start being ready so they don't have to get ready? Come ready. This the mindset we need to have.
Well, you're right, and I love your mindset. And part of the reason why a lot of them are not ready because they're heavily dependent on the government.
Angela, could you
So
drop your cash out one more time? We have some donors that want to donate. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to those that have donated. Marcus Lindsay, thank you so much for the 20 piece. Thank you, Tanisha, for the 10, just brief 5. And then we have Shanice at 15. And if we skipped your name, I do apologize, but we'll shout you out as they come up. I'll yield the floor.
Go ahead, brother. You were saying something.
oh yeah, 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 like I was saying, and you gotta look at the big mamas are gone now. You got
Mhm.
35, 40-year-old grandmothers who still in the club and with a smartphone going live. So there's that the generation gap is gone. So those days are long gone. Whoever grew up in it, I'm in my 40s. So I can vividly remember those times. And those times are long gone. You like I stated, you had to answer to someone, whether it was the father, the mother, the uncle, the grandmother, the grandfather. You had accountability. Now that is gone because, like the lady said, you can't say anything to these kids because the mama, you're gonna have to whoop her or she whoop you or whatever the case may be because their
Mhm.
kids can't do no wrong, right? And these are the same ones who stick behind their kids when they're doing committing crimes and doing all these things. So when someone put a bullet in them or whatever, now they're on there saying, the cops racist and all this. See, we have to self accountability once again.
Mhm.
That's our major problem. We focus it on so the white people, but yet we don't even look at our very own problems in our own home. If you're not controlling your own home, you shouldn't have no say so on what goes on outside of your home. If you're not even controlling your own home. You know what I mean? So you have to have set the tone in your own home. Make sure your home is governed to up to par, and then that's how the community grows and how communities uh, uh, rebound and everything. But see, our communities are long and shambles, and the father is out the household. So you got
Mhm.
a bunch of single women, right? Single quote unquote independent women,
Mhm.
right? So they had that mindset that they independent, they don't need the man. The man is out the household, they're raising them and they stick their chest out. They don't not knocking my black women, I love them, but They're some of the only women that I've noticed boast and brag about being a single mother. I don't understand that. You know what I mean? I just don't understand that. Like, I don't understand that. I yield the floor. Whoever wants to
But here's
piggyback
the
off of that,
thing
whatever.
too. Let's take a look at the policies and things that they are passing in your local states, in your schools, where it's taking the parental rights away from parents. They can't even make decisions regarding their children when it comes to school choice, when it comes to no, I don't want my son or daughter to be taught this in school. How in the world can a child that's under the age of 18 sign themselves out of the hospital and still come to my home where I'm
Mhm.
the parent and I
Right.
don't have no say in it. Like, this is where we at in America, and it seems like
Yes.
we're absolutely just letting it happen and not fighting or saying anything or doing anything about it. Like, this is where we at in America, guys, and it ain't a good place,
You
especially
right.
for us.
It's not.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Understandable. Let me jump in right quick. I want to thank Leslie for the 5 piece, Roberto for the 5 piece. We are at $294, guys. The goal is 500. We are very close to it. The cash app is $AKF2023. Thank you so much for your donations. Keep them coming in. I'll yield the floor.
Hmm.
Or like the lady said about the school and stuff. They are trying to take over, but unless you know your rights and what they can and cannot do, um, if you have to just stand up to the school system too. Like when COVID was going on, the nurse gonna call me and tell me because the government said they could return back to school that I better bring my children back to school. I told him I don't care nothing about the government, what the government said, or with what you're saying. My children, I don't feel safe with them going back to school yet. So but a lot of people were sending their kids back to school and then they wind up where I'm at, they wind up having to shut the school down anyway once the kids returned back to school because a bunch of teachers was getting sick. So there's a lot of times that even with I'm married 19 years, have a son. I had to tell the school system, they call the mother for everything. And I said, respectfully, I know you might deal with a lot of single mothers, but I'm not one. So you're going to utilize his dad and
Mhm.
ask me how many times they call his dad. One time, but they was blowing me up, stressing
Mhm.
me out about my son. And I'm like, no, dad, they don't call him, because it's a man on man thing. And I was like, no, you're not going to overwhelm me with something with my young man because he does have a dad. So it goes back to holding each other accountable. Like that's going to be the word for a while, accountability. And until we do that in the community with and stand on it, I don't know. I don't know where we going as a community. I yell.
All right, but so before anybody else jumps in, shout out to Natasha for the 50 piece. We appreciate you. Let's keep those donations coming. AKF 2023. Of course, the dollar sign in front of the A. Let's get those donations in. Let's get these babies some pampers, some food, some clothes, and all the necessities at Auntie Angie's house. I'll yield.
Don't everybody say something at one time.
Okay, so here I'll throw something out there. So
Yeah.
as far as her punishment, do we think that she needs to be evaluated first? Do she needs to go to a regular jail, or do she need to be in a facility where she can get evaluated and see what's going on? Do we want to just stick her in jail, or do we want her to get the help that she needs?
Well,
Mm.
I'll speak first. I think because of, well, the press conference, the guy that was speaking did say that it's some things that they couldn't discuss that kind of lets them know her mindset. That stuck out for me, right?
Mhm.
Because the other stuff that she looked up, like, that's planned. That's calculating. You premeditated that. You thought ahead of time enough to say, let me look up the movie Taken. Let me look up the Amber Alert. Like you literally put the time in to do that, right? You looked up how to steal money and get away with it. Like all of these, calculating things, right? That takes a kind of premeditated mindset to do that. But then again, he also said it's some other things that they can't disclose at this time that leads them to the mindset. Now, is it a criminal mindset? Is it a mental mindset thing? I would say this: I have no problem with them doing a mental evaluation, but I don't want mental illness to be an excuse for
Mm-hmm.
if she calculated, pre-planned this, which it looks like she did. I don't want mental health to get illness to get caught up in that and being made as an excuse when she should just pay for a crime that she committed, like anybody else would do. And I'll yield the floor.
Do you
And
think
I'll,
do you think mental health you can't calculate and pre-plan?
No, I'm not necessarily saying that, but I think that if she's evaluated mentally and they come to find that she's confident, then
Mm-hmm.
that's pre-planned. the,
Exactly.
the things that she looked at, like you're planning something when you look up all those things, right? And it
Right.
looks like she pre-planned even, how much it costs, to take the bus here, to do this, to, like all that's calculating, right? Like you conjuring up a plan in your mind. Could it be? Yes, it could be. I'm not going to say that it couldn't be. You got narcissism is a mental illness,
Exactly.
sociopath, psychopath, all those words, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying I just don't want mental illness to be used as the scapegoat
Right.
for her to skip getting punished with some jail time.
Right.
Right.
I think
Mhm.
if there's crimes that she committed, I think they will hold her accountable for them. Because it looks like there are crimes, but I've been hearing people say that she looked up suicide. So I don't know if she was suicidal. Was that part of her plan? We really don't know.
oh my God.
Yeah, well, those could play into the other two things that the guy was saying at the press conference, that she
Mm-hmm.
also looked up, that can play a part into the mindset of her. It could be the whole, self deletion. It could be that. I don't know. It's so much more
Yeah.
that has to come out, and I do believe that they are playing it right. They are absolutely allowing her time to first come to them and
Right.
come with her story. But I believe they absolutely got more evidence, you guys. I don't.
Mhm.
I believe they are withholding some
Yes.
things, because if she come to them and do another interview and get caught in lies, and they bring up more evidence and more facts to her, then
Yeah.
that's just going to show to the cold calculating person she truly is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then I'm going to step in here. Let's go ahead and thank our donors: Nika for the 10 piece, Linda for the 10 piece, Rhonda for 100, Loretta for your 100, Shamir your $50, Wanda your 10, Wanda your 20. Let's keep the donations rolling in so these babies can have what they need. A as in apple, K as in kite, F as in Frank 2023. Don't forget to put the $ before the A. Let's get those donations rolling in. We have a goal of 500. Let's roll. I'll yield the floor.
I want to chime in again really quickly, because when I heard her give the description of the suspect with orange hair with a bald spot, I was like, she just described Donald Trump. Like, I'm like, why is she putting
Oh
Donald Trump
Lord!
into
Oh
this?
Lord!
And it just made me think of the political angle and
Yeah.
the similarities to the Jussie Smollett case, because although Jussie Smollett, I thought he was telling a lie from the very beginning. It just came across as a hoax from the jump. But Jussie Smollett was very intimately involved with Vice President, with Kamala Harris,
Mhm.
on some campaigns for some policy initiatives. I can't remember exactly what they were about, but if you Google, you can see them in pictures, campaigning
I
for
think it was the
policy
lynching bill.
initiatives. And I believe that they cooked up, or he cooked up with some help of some people in the background, that whole hoax, when we're going to pin it on Donald Trump, or we're going to pin it on MAGA Republicans and so forth. So when I saw that she went with the orange hair and the ball spot, I said, wait a minute, like, how deep does this go? Was this meant to be a political false flag like Jussie Smollett, or is she alone totally on this? So it just made me think about the political angle. But if she's not being helped, or if she's not in collusion with other operatives, then damn, I lost my train of thought. And
Don't you
yeah,
hate when that happens?
yeah. I just got distracted really quickly, but I thought about the political angle and how, yeah, if she's working by herself, how still this was going to be co-opted by the left, by the Tamika Mallorys, by the Mysons, people of that caliber. We're going to hop all over this, racialize it, whatever the case may be, and run with it. But they got stopped in their tracks. So what do
All
you guys
right.
think? Similarities to the Smollett case?
Absolutely. I feel like it was similarities. But before we get into that, we have great news, guys. Shout out to John for the 10 piece, April for the 10 piece. We reached our goal for tonight. So, round of applause. And this is
Hey.
show up and support one of your brothers or sisters. I wasn't assigned to this job, but guess what? We made our goal tonight. And be a leader, step up and take leadership. That's what we need in our community. And hopefully, you guys can take something from this live. I'll yield the floor.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight too, and I just want to end with some closing thoughts and just say, don't allow this to be to to have you discouraged, because I think that overall we saw a great thing. We saw how our community would come together. We saw how, as much mess as we talk about the police department, we saw them come together. Like, people really did get active. It wasn't just about a skin color. We saw all people come together, and it was a beautiful thing. So that lets us know that when we put our mind to something, that we can forget about all the BS and come together for what's right. Unfortunately, this situation shows us, especially in the Black community, because of the way that many people who just didn't believe it was real were treated. Man, we got to stop with this thing. Like, we think just because this person Black that they automatically right, or that they're immune from accountability, or that we got to stick with them no matter what. I mean, people your color can hate on you, can suppress you, can lie to you. We have to just use discernment, regardless of what the race is, the religion is, the political party is. This is a season where we have to use discernment. 2024 is right around the corner. I ain't telling you who to vote for. You already know who I'm voting for. But I will ask you all to vote for policy. That is so important. Thanks for tuning in tonight, y'all. I'll see y'all again. Maybe.
All right. Peace, sis.
Thank
Peace,
you. Thank
chat.
you.
Peace,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you for
All right,
supporting
y'all all
Auntie
have a good
Angie's
night.
out. Good night.
Good night.